All right. So let's get on to hot topics.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right. The way hot topics works is our hosts bring you hot topics they want to share. We'll ask, is it truth, lies, shenanigans? Our panel will talk about it for a bit until time is up. Sorry I didn't get Gingy back for you yet, but I'll
Disclaimer.
bring him back for the party next week. I'll bring him back for the party. Then we'll go to our audience for questions and comments. So make sure you're commenting in any of our comment threads. We are definitely listening to you guys. All right, Lizzie, you came across some nonsense with some social media relationship guru guy. Is this truth,
Y'all,
lies, or shenanigans?
y'all. First of all, let me just say this is truth and shenanigans. I always seem to get like the dichotomy, the double-edged sword. But I had never heard of this guy before he
Yes.
blew up this week. I had no idea.
No one
Johnny,
did.
did you know who he was?
No one.
Yeah, I knew. I saw him on
Giovanni knows,
Instagram
okay.
commenting a lot on the Shade Room because his comments he like have like 20,000 likes. So that's how I knew him. I saw him a lot.
Oh, so you.
I never heard of this guy, and I'm old, I'm crotchety, I got papers to grade, so I'm not really necessarily, I'm not really paying attention
Crotchety.
to a lot of current events when it comes to social media stuff. But this blew up like wildfire over the week. So we're talking about
Huge.
Derrick Jaxn, who is a self-proclaimed relationship expert / guru. And so apparently a lot of women gravitated towards him and his knowledge and his advice about how to find the right man, how to get rid of the wrong man, what type of man you should be looking for, particularly Black men. A lot of women took his words to heart. And so it came out this week. I think they may have known that he was married, but it came out this week that in spite of all of that knowledge he was kicking to y'all, all of that trash talking he did, specifically and particularly about Black men, he was one of them. So he was telling all of y'all how to stay away from this type of man, that type of man, blah, 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 blah. But then he admitted this week that he was that man.
Let me play
And
that.
so he put out a video. I guess what had happened was one of his mistresses wrote into a blogger telling her story about her prolonged affair with Mr. Derrick Jaxn. The blogger did a little bit of research, and then a couple of other women started to come into the mix. And so he decided that he was going to confront it. He did a video with his wife, his poor wife. I do feel sorry for her. He did a video with his wife where he was acknowledging to the people that, okay, he has fallen by the wayside. He has literally eaten the forbidden fruit, and he has, had affairs, has cheated on his wife. And so this blew up on social media. Like,
I got a clip of it if
women
you want.
Yes, go right ahead. Show
Oh
them.
yeah.
Here, this chapter of
Oh my
our
God, this poor
marriage
girl.
is one that was preceded by a marriage that completely failed. I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. Some of it is true, some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was
His S's are a little
serious as sex to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. It's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma or whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for. There's no excuse or justification.
I agree with what he just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so.
So, two things about this video. One, this is the first video that he put out within the last week. week and a half. He actually did a subsequent video where he was critiquing this video about himself, about his wife,
Got that for
in
you
the
too if you
third
want.
person. In the third person. It was so creepy
Yeah.
and disgusting. But for the first video, I felt bad for the wife because she looked like someone who didn't want to be there. She looked very uncomfortable. He was holding and pulling on her hand for dear life throughout the entire interview. She looked like something from The Handmaid's Tale, if you will. So my question to the panel, especially to the two, I'm gonna hold off on you, Gianni, for a second because we have.
Can I play his reaction video? His secret reaction.
Sure.
To not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be.
So, and by the way, I'm gonna speak in third person. This is Derrick Jaxn. A lot of people think of him as a relationship expert and guru and all of that. Well, he and his wife are making this video because apparently at some point in their marriage, or maybe even beforehand in the relationship, he didn't take his own advice. And nothing really stuck out to me about him, but more so about the wife. Like, I heard her say that she stands with her husband, she's proud to love him. But just by her body language, I was really wondering, like, did he force her to do this video? Like, she looks super uncomfortable, like she doesn't want to be there.
He's so entitled.
I've never seen anything like that.
Come on. But my question goes to, initially, Gianni, it goes to Neo and Rob because they're the two males, the two gentlemen on the panel.
Yeah.
Both are married. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Go ahead. I have a lot to say. But go ahead. You want to start, Robbie?
That's
Where do you start?
love is love.
Love is
If
love.
love is love. And if you love someone, you're not prowling, you're not straying, you're respecting, you are revere. You're respecting. There's so much that goes with it. I really, when I watched the video, I was just blown away. Even just now, when she's saying it's not something I tolerate. Clearly, girl, you do tolerate it because you're still with him.
Yep.
When she went on a limb and said that, she has forgiven him, but more importantly, God has forgiven him. Pump the brakes. No, the most important thing is that you have forgiven him and that you are okay with now rebuilding the trust that he has shattered in the relationship. He really went down the religious rabbit hole. Just the one quote that really bothered me about marriage. You cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower, your own values. You have to have the grace of God to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self. I call bullshit. I call shenanigans on that. Because I don't have a religious bone in my body, but I'm in the most loving union of my life with my wife. There's a mutual respect and love that I've never known up until this point in my life. So the notion of walking or just straying from this relationship is completely alien to me because I love this woman. So Mr. Jaxn does not love his wife.
He loves you,
like Mr. Jaxn doesn't love his wife in so much as all of the gay-bashing politicians out there who are receiving clandestine blowjobs in the airport aren't gay themselves.
You going there? Okay.
I mean,
He went all the way in.
We said it was going to be spicy today. We said it was going to be spicy
Right.
today.
You're right.
I'm just going to call it for what it is.
Very quickly before you comment, Neo, I just want to say in terms of the whole God forgave him factor, I grew up in the church, okay? And so even though I am atheist, I do not believe in God. I respect other people who do. However, let's be realistic here. You guys did 2 videos. Where is God's declaration saying that he believed Derrick Jaxn? Where is God's tweet? Where is God's PR announcement? So this God forgave him. We don't know that, girl. We don't know. We don't know that. And I guarantee you, God is looking at his BS like, for real, bruh? For real? All right. That's what you come into the pearly gates with? That's what you come into my pearly gates with? All right. Whatever, Neo.
Bro, I'm dealing with the Suez Canal and world distribution. I don't
Suez
care about
Canal.
you.
I don't worry about
Yeah, God,
now,
yeah, God's
first
dealing
we
with the
know
Suez
it's-
Canal.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, so
Neo?
yeah, the first thing when I saw this was, who in the hell is this guy? I was with you on Lizzie. I was like, who is this guy? I don't know this guy. But I went into it a little deeper and read about it and stuff, and I was still asking myself, who is this guy? Why does anybody even care what he has to say? Because he doesn't have anything to really say. I mean, I
No
guess
credentials or
I guess he states his position very well, so he's well spoken. There's no question about that.
He's handsome. He's extremely handsome.
I can't speak
He's
to
well
that.
dressed.
I can't speak to that.
As a woman, I'm telling you, he's a handsome guy. He's a
Okay.
handsome guy. He's
All right.
well dressed. But yeah, keep going.
I mean, so when I was listening to his I think the third person video is the thing that just like I'm like, really? I like, what is this? So he's commenting on himself and his wife. I mean, he's very narcissistic, clearly. And we know since we've dealt with Trump for 4 years and prior to that, and we know what narcissism looks like. So there's no question he's really into himself. But the thing is, I'm trying to figure out when these women are going to figure it out, because especially when it comes down to this conversation about God. So, and throwing out because these guys have learned how to play on these
Vulnerability.
right. And of course people's love of God. I mean, so but the guys have figured it out. So I don't know if any of you guys watch this show, but me and my wife watched it. I don't do reality, but I've been watching Married at First Sight.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
I've heard
It
of
just
it.
looks so ridiculous.
I had to stop watching it
because of
okay?
Paige and Chris.
No, I haven't even gotten that far. I watched like maybe the first 3 seasons, and then I had to stop watching it because it became too ridiculous.
I think it's awesome because I think you in a compacted time frame. Basically, they do these arranged marriages, and 8 weeks they follow them, and in a compacted thing, they go through a lot of stuff, and it's. I think it's interesting to watch. Anyway, there's this.
This isn't who I thought they were. Clearly,
right. There's this couple, Paige and Chris, right now, and they're all about God. Right? They're all into God and things like that, and they talk about how into God. And that's why they matched them, because of their religion basis. But this guy Chris, every time he messes up, he's talking about, oh, God this, God that, and she's like right back in his arms. I mean, like it's like nothing. But let me tell you how deep it is. No,
that's great.
This guy has said, I don't find you attractive. He said, but then he would switch it up and be like, but I'm in this because God told me to do it. And then he's told her, I have a baby on the way with my ex, 6 weeks old baby, six weeks old, right? It's on the way.
What is
the show?
Yes, right. Yep. The kid's not 6 weeks old. It's not. She hasn't had the baby yet. She's pregnant, 6 weeks pregnant with the baby, right? So he was having sex with his ex.
He jumped out of her bed and came
out
to
of
the
that.
show.
Basically,
Yeah,
right.
into the show.
Literally. So go get married to somebody. And then she's talking about like, hey, but God told me I'm gonna do my vows because God said I need to do this. And then Paige is like, okay, let's try, let's figure this out, let's make it work. Every single time. And he's just playing her. I'm trying to figure out, when are women gonna figure out that they're just getting played?
Or not just women, because there are men who are getting
There's men.
played too.
That's true. It's not a woman-man thing. But I'm just saying, when are they going to figure out? When are they going to figure out they're getting played?
If you are religious, when are you going to figure out, if you go by the doctrine that you have faith in, when are you going to figure out that God doesn't want you in shit? God doesn't want you involved in all of this.
Right.
Your home is supposed to be happy and peaceful and productive, not dealing with some guy who just jumped out of this other girl's womb and now is up trying to get up in your stuff. Like,
in the last episode, he said he bought his ex a Benz, and he came back. And he's like, but we still married. And I'm like, what the hell?
And if that
But
is,
even
why are you worshiping a God like that? If that's God's plan, why are you worshiping a God like that? that is putting you through
Yeah.
all of this heartache. Like, y'all need to
Pain,
stop
Yeah.
being
struggle,
real. Be real.
Oh,
That's not
tribulation.
God's plan.
And this guy
That's
Jackson
not
just
God's
reminded me of that. I mean, he just reminds me of that whole the whole thing about God, religion, and then playing on that and playing that on that with people and connecting to people in that way. When all
Yeah.
along they don't actually believe
Manipulate.
that stuff.
No,
No,
and
and
that's
let me
even in the
say,
analysis video. At one point, he says, you know, if Jesus is really your boy, if you were hanging with him while you were laying with these other women, Jesus would have done your zipper up for you.
but not his
He
zipper up.
said that in the
Not his
video.
zipper up.
He said that in
I
the
didn't hear that
video
part.
that Jesus would have
Not his
I
done
just
his zipper up for him. It's just like,
he
No,
so
just like
clearly Jesus
literally
isn't your boy.
right.
and it's not what would Jesus do? Would Jesus be hopping out of the girl's bed and into your bed? Like, no,
Right.
y'all. Come on. And again, I don't believe, but I respect your faith and that you believe. And I want you to understand this is not what God wants for y'all. He wants you to be happy and prosperous, not, calling up other girls, cussing them out, trying to fight them, fuss them out because they may be sleeping with your man. He doesn't want you having to go to the doctor repeatedly to get tests to see if you have an STD or worry about all that. Like, that's not the plan, y'all.
Yeah.
That's not. So before
That's
we
not
get to
it.
Gian, I want to read you a couple of things that the good Mr. Feel Good had to say, because he
let's
did a
listen.
lot of bashing. He did a lot of bashing of men, again, particularly black men, to try to elevate his
Himself.
message about what was good. So one of his messages was, instead of begging the men you date to grow up, why not date men who are already grown? Well, was he grown?
I know, right?
Clearly
Was
not.
he he said, I know I'm grown, but I still be on some handwritten love letters. If you can't write your woman a love letter, then you can't communicate with your woman. Well, how many women were you writing love letters to,
Love
bruh?
letters too. I need to know.
Like, how many? He also told women to think this way: I'm not going to run after you. I'll show you interest, maybe even a little flirtatious thirst. But if you show me nothing, I stop everything. But in that, he's showing all of these women the same thing. And so we have to start paying attention to the realness and the not the mixed messages that these guys are sending, but also don't live your life based off of one human's word. Like, I get it. Y'all
Ever.
think he was cute. Y'all think he had a good job. He's written several successful books, but no, this dude ain't it. He's
There are
not
so many
it.
comments online, and I know we got to get to Gianni. I just want to read some of them because there's just so
Yeah,
many
read-
comments. And people are really into this one. So,
It's
Liz,
lit.
you got a juicy topic.
Erica Miller, maybe he
It was
doesn't
all
agree that
over
he is
again,
handsome.
Johnny, I didn't know this guy, and it was all over the place.
Everywhere.
I'm like, okay, let me go. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something.
Vicky Smith, I've seen pictures of two, probably more. Jacqueline Robinson, may I ask this question all seriousness? Who the heck looks for relationship advice from someone on YouTube? Mel Blaine says, God sent her red flags. She's not listening to God's signs.
Ooh.
Vicky Smith says that part, when people are vehemently against something and speak on it constantly, they're usually part of that community. All right,
Yeah.
we'll get to the rest of the comments. But Gianni Storm, go ahead.
I think the reason why it did get so big and it got to a point where everybody's talking about it and has something to say about it is because it has these differing elements, right? It has like the cheating, of course, but then you also see the narcissism, and then you also see that religion is a manipulating factor. So I think that's why so many people have something to say about it, because it's not just a typical cheating scenario. But I really, instead of focusing on Derrick Jan or Jack, whatever,
Jackson.
instead of focusing on him, his wife, Jackson, his wife is who I don't feel bad for her like so many people are saying,
I
because it's
know,
like
right? It's hard.
she's doing it to herself. But I do feel bad for her past. I know that reading into the story more, that she was raped as a young girl. She went through a lot of just like family childhood issues. So maybe that led her to religion or Christianity, and that's why she is the way
It
she
makes
is.
her
So
more
I feel
vulnerable
bad
to
for that
people,
part.
predators.
And
Yeah,
often an
I
abusive
feel bad for that
situation
part.
will lend itself to another abusive situation.
If not
I feel
corrected,
bad
right?
because I have, I think I briefly spoke about this before in the show. I have a very dear friend of mine who is going through shit with an ain't shit husband. I have family members who have ain't shit
Mm.
husband. And I feel bad that they can't understand, or they still continue to buy into that narrative. That's what I feel bad for. Because again,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think, we life is really short, and this is not how you want to play out your days. Like, I have things that I still need to work on, that I need to do better about myself. But laying down with a guy who has repeatedly cheated on me, who has embarrassed me, who has lied to me, it's just not something that I'm willing to do for the rest of my life. And I
yep.
just wish that more women would find the confidence, because there's plenty of other penis out there. He
Penis.
ain't the
Yeah,
only penis, girl. He ain't the only
loyal,
penis.
faithful.
There is
Yeah,
plenty of
exactly.
other, and we are so quick to cut off. A lot of women are so quick to cut off a girlfriend for stuff. We're
Yes,
so quick to cut off
that's
friends,
true.
but we'll keep that same man coming back into our lives.
It's
So
the
that's why
strangest
I
thing
feel
to
bad.
me. It's the
That's
strange,
that's
that
why
that is the
I feel
strangest
bad.
dynamic to me too. I agree with you.
And she
That is
looked
very
miserable. She looked
sad.
And
miserable.
there's no question she
Miserable.
has to be. And
Yeah.
again, same thing with everything that we're talking about. The same thing with Paige. This is not an unusual situation. I mean, it
No.
Yeah,
happens
no,
a
it's
lot.
not.
It happens very often. It's
It's
Very
unfortunate.
not.
common act.
Um,
And
Yeah.
that's again why I'm single, y'all. That's why I'm
so
single.
there's a couple of
Woo!
people who's mentioning that there were two mistresses. Is that correct?
I
Yes.
mean, two and
No,
counting.
there were three.
Two and count three.
See, like I
Yeah.
There
said,
were
and count.
three.
And I'm not trying to
Yeah.
give any of these mistresses any shine whatsoever. Like, you tell your story on your own platform. But one of
Mhm.
the mistresses
Yeah.
said, even since the release of his two videos, he's still been contacting her. And I've seen some of
Yeah.
those text messages. So
Yeah, the receipt.
the wife isn't living in reality. And I feel bad for that, because like Gianni said, I saw some of the things that she posted about her past. There, a lot of trauma, but also very insecure about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And those are the
Yeah.
Easy
women that these
victims.
guys tend to gravitate to.
Easy
They pick
victims.
out these women. Yeah. So it's sad.
It's
It's sad.
prey. I
And
mean,
that's why I'm
She's
that's
really,
like
how they look at them. It's
spiraling right now.
prey, and then they use it, and it's just it's sad to me when I see it. Let me try to get some of these
Yeah.
comments in. I'm gonna try to mix it up and see if I can get as many. It's just so many. There's no way I'm gonna get to all of them. So,
Yeah.
Ernest Cooper
that's a
says
good thing.
she looks like a hostage in the video. Mel Blaine agrees she is a hostage. Kevin Brown says not eating the forbidden fruit. Oh no, laughing at your comment. Vicky Smith says the really crazy part is the reaction video of him talking about himself in third person.
It's
Yeah.
awful.
Olivia
weird.
points out
Horrible.
that she did other videos by herself after that. Um,
She did.
yeah, a lot of people
I didn't see those. I didn't see
commenting about the
those.
third person is kind of ridiculous. That is just straight narcissism to me. I mean, that's a clear definition. Jose says, "Stop using your God as a pawn. Grow a pair. Time to wear your big boy pants,
Grow
boys and
a
girls."
Mm.
Let me
Ooh.
see. I'm gonna see if I can get one more in here. They're just
Hard
coming
one to
so
get 'em looking.
fast.
Let me just say, while you're looking for that, let me just say to any guy out there who is thinking about talking to Liz E. Enders, if you fuck up, don't expect me to sit on some platform and defend your fuckery.
Oh yeah.
Like, you did it.
Ever.
That is your shit. You own up to it. I'm gonna be in the other room packing my stuff.
Yep.
I am not sitting
Yeah.
next
I am
to
with
you.
you.
And I
I
am
don't
not
take any
sitting
of that
next to
stuff,
you
and
for that.
no
No,
woman should take any
no,
of that stuff.
sir.
Yep.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
That's true, Neo. Then there was that
Remove the
debate.
gender bias
should-
from it, Neo. People shouldn't
Yeah.
be accepting
That's
that
why.
on.
That's
Yeah,
why I
nobody
tried to
should.
go
Yeah.
people.
No gender bias.
Good
People
point.
should value yourself and expect your partner to value you in the same way. If they don't
Exactly,
deliver on
Rob.
that, then you're with the wrong person.
Exactly,
Good
Rob.
point.
Erica
And
Miller
it took
says,
me, Rob, honestly, it took me a long time to get that message.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not sitting here and saying that I'm perfect, far from it. It took me a long time to get that,
Mhm.
and I'm still learning that. But this
Yeah.
nonsense, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Erica Miller says he was with all those women in order to gather content. He had to live it to provide viable advice. I'm in that hot topic on that one. That was a good one, Erica.
That was a good
Good
one.
topic, y'all.
That's
Thank you.
good.
Thank you for the conversation.
Good hot topic, Lizzie. Good hot topic.
Truth, lies,